are in listen-only mode.
All right, good morning, everyone. It's 11 a.m. I'm going to start the briefing right now. So I'm just going to quickly show satellite here right now. We do have a coastal low pressure system that has developed over the last 24 hours, and it's continuing to nudge its way north. We're starting to see some of the heavier showers and thunderstorms moving on in across the southern eastern shore of Virginia, as well as across the Virginia Beach Tidewater area, as well as northeastern North Carolina. Still looking at multiple hazards with this coastal low throughout the day and into tonight. Just also taking a quick look at the buoys out there. We are seeing seas building pretty well out there already. Some 13-foot significant waves down across northeastern North Carolina, across Cape Henry, seeing already 10 to 11-foot waves, and up towards Wallops Island, already seeing some 10-foot waves up there as well. Just looking real quick at some wind gusts that we've had throughout the day. Already some pretty decent wind gusts across our coastal waters, stretching all the way from Ocean City, Maryland, down towards the Outer Banks. So, like I said earlier, we are going to see multiple hazards with this system, from excessive rainfall to fast winds to coastal flood advisories and coastal flood warnings, as well as high surf advisories and gale warnings across all of our waters. Just taking a quick look at how this is going to progress throughout today and into Saturday as well. Coastal low is going to potentially make landfall here later on this afternoon. And as it does, it should begin to weaken by late tonight and early Wednesday. It will continue to linger throughout most of Wednesday before finally kicking out by Thursday. Friday, we get a high pressure system that moves on over our area, giving us dry and warmer conditions. And then Saturday could see a backdoor cold front moving in as a high pressure to the north builds on in. So like I said previously, we are going to see some excessive rainfall with this coastal low. We do have a flood watch out stretching all the way from Petersburg down towards northeastern North Carolina, pretty much all of southeastern Virginia, the peninsula covering Williamsburg, and as well as northeastern North Carolina. Localized rain amounts between 3 to 4 inches are possible. Some places could see isolated 5 inches of rain. That all depends on where those heavier thunderstorms do set up and move onshore. And so we're expecting the flood watch to continue through 2 a.m. On Wednesday. We are in a slight ERO from WPC across the peninsula, Tidewater, southeastern Virginia, and northeastern North Carolina. Like I was saying earlier, widespread 2 to 3 inches are possible, especially across southeastern Virginia, northeast North Carolina. We could see locally higher amounts of 3 to even 5 inches of rain. I'm going to quickly also show, this is just the 0Z HREF. The 12Z hasn't finished coming in yet, but you can see that the storm is starting to pivot with some of the earlier runs that I've already seen. It is starting to pivot more with its precipitation across southeastern Virginia, possibly southern eastern shore and northeastern North Carolina. So again, that's where we're most likely going to experience the heavier rain, like we've been saying, across this area. So confidence is continuing to grow, especially as the storm looks to be further east right now, and with it being further east, it's most likely going to pivot some of that precipitation across our area. Just showing the reasonable worst case scenario, we could see areas of 5 inches of rain, like we've been saying, especially across southeastern Virginia, northeastern North Carolina. Just looking at the reasonable worst case scenario right here, just 1 in 10 chance. But we are kind of still expecting possibly very isolated 5 inches. It doesn't mean everywhere is going to see 5 inches, just very localized areas. And that all depends on where the heavier showers and thunderstorms move over, and especially train over. Already this morning, we've seen pretty decent rainfall across the Virginia Beach area. We did have a flash flood warning out earlier for some heavier rainfall. And so some of those areas that have already seen that heavier rainfall could see additional rain falling later on this morning, into this afternoon, and even into this evening. There is a potential for potentially a brief spin up. Cannot be ruled out given the atmospheric environments in place. The SPC has labeled marginal risk level 1 out of 5, just across our coastal area, stretching across the far eastern, northeastern North Carolina, Tidewater, Hampton Roads area, as well as the Virginia Eastern Shore. Right now, that's the only risk that we do have out from the Storm Prediction Center. Wednesday, just a few elevated storms are possible. Then by Thursday, not expecting any thunderstorms whatsoever. So we do have a wind advisory out for some of the peninsulas, as well as the Virginia Eastern Shore, Tidewater area as well. Could see some wind gusts up to 40 to even 50 miles per hour are expected. And with the saturated soil, there could be some tree branches that fall, and power lines could be damaged. This could result in some localized power outages as well. Just taking a look at our maximum wind gust forecast, we are expecting the winds pick up pretty decently starting this afternoon into lasting through the mid-afternoon hours as well. And then it won't be until tonight we really start to see those winds kind of start to die down as the low begins to weaken. You can see it's pretty confined to the strongest winds across the coastal areas of the Bay, as well as the Virginia Eastern Shore and northeastern North Carolina, but still could see some breezy conditions all the way out towards the I-95 corridor and across parts of the 85 corridor as well. So switching gears over to the coastal flood hazards right now, we do have a coastal flood advisory in effect along the Maryland in North Carolina Atlantic coastline. We do have higher confidence that we are expecting some pretty decent coastal flooding across the Bay side or western Bay side, as well as the Hampton Roads area up through the tidal James as well, and York and Rappahannock rivers. And so we do have a coastal flood warning in effect. Could see some minor flooding possible with this morning's high tide, but it's this next high tide cycle this afternoon that we are expecting the worst high tide or worst coastal flooding to occur. Widespread moderate tidal flooding is expected with this evening's high tide, and confidence in some localized major flooding has increased along the tidal James River and the southern shore of the Chesapeake Bay. So kind of stepping through these high tide cycles for the lower Bay and James, you can see that the high tide this morning, we did see some minor high tide, minor coastal flooding, but it's not until later on this afternoon, around 3 p.m., that we're really going to start to see this higher tide cycle come in as that low moves on closer, ushering in additional water across the Bay and lower in the James as well. Could see some areas like Lynnhaven and Jamestown, Scotland Ferry, just touching major flood stage as well. Across the upper Bay, we are expecting some minor to even moderate coastal flooding as well, with this high tide cycle coming in around this afternoon as well. Looking at the York and Rappahannock River, again, we did see some minor flooding early this morning, but it's not until later on this next high tide cycle between 3 p.m. and 3 a.m. where we're really going to see some of these areas getting back up into high-end minor as well as low-end moderate. And then looking just at the ocean, we are expecting some decently minor flooding, as well as some moderate flooding up at Oyster, Virginia, with these next high tide cycles this afternoon. With those seas that I showed earlier already beginning to pick up, we do have high surf advisories that are remaining in effect for Virginia, North Carolina beaches through this evening, as well as the Maryland beaches up towards Ocean City. We're already seeing those large breaking waves and hazard surfing conditions, with waves, as we've already seen, between 8 to 11 feet already. Significant wave run up and beach and dune erosion are expected, especially across the areas with the high surf advisory. We do have gale warnings in effect for all of our coastal waters right now. Seas are building already. We've already seen them build to 10 to 13 feet. We do have some already breezy out there, already windy, with gusts between 25 to 35 knots, but a few gusts between 35 and 45 knots cannot be ruled out. And there is a possibility of occasional storm force winds as well across the lower bay and southeast Virginia coastal waters, and going into northeastern North Carolina coastal waters as well. Pretty decent wind probabilities. We're already seeing these types of wind gusts already occurring, with wind gusts greater than or equal to 25 knots across all of our coastal waters. Same with the gale conditions. Already starting to see some gale gusts already across our coastal waters as well. And like I was saying, we do have that low end probability between 10 to 40% of some storm force conditions as well. Just looking at more gust probabilities, really starting to see those probabilities starting to rise this already today and throughout later this afternoon as well. Taking a look at the marine threat potential, high end to significant to extreme marine threat for today into tonight. But then once that low makes landfall, it will begin to weaken. And as it weakens, we're going to see those winds really begin to taper off Wednesday and Wednesday night. And then we kind of see Thursday through Friday night as well. We do have some limited risks with greater than or equal to 20 knots and waves of 4 feet of greater than or equal to 4 feet. And then with that backdoor cold front, could see some possibilities of some elevated marine threat potential as well to start off the weekend. So just the marine wind potential, like I was saying earlier, we're already seeing those wind gusts starting to pick up, and we do reach around 45 knot gusts possibly this afternoon and into this evening. But like I was saying, as soon as that coastal low starts to make landfall, it will begin to weaken. And we do see the winds really begin to taper off by midnight tonight and early Wednesday morning. And then we see just some decent marine conditions throughout Wednesday afternoon, kind of going into Friday as well. Here's just a wind summary. Again, winds are going to continue to increase throughout today. Then by tonight, they're going to decrease by midnight. And then we'll continue to see decent marine conditions lasting pretty much Wednesday afternoon throughout Friday afternoon. Then with that backdoor cold front, could see the potential again for some marine threat to increase as we get some cooler, drier air coming over our waters once again. So looking at the waves right now, we've already started to see those waves increase. But you can see we remain with those elevated seas through much of Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon as well. With that, we do have gales up, but once those gale conditions die down, they'll most likely possibly even be replaced with small craft advisories as those seas continue to remain elevated. Then by Thursday, we really start to see those seas decrease, and then by Friday, pretty decent marine conditions across our waters. Just here's a quick Hansen plot right here, kind of showing that we are going to see those seas build again to 10 to 13 feet, as we're already seeing them build right now. And then seas subside kind of starting tonight, but we'll still see those elevated seas for small craft conditions across our waters. And then just quickly looking at the significant wave height between 12 to 15 feet kind of this afternoon when they really begin to increase. And then there is the threat of 1 to every 20 to 30 minutes, you could see a max wave between 17 to 22 feet from the Capes east over to the coastal waters through late tonight. Highest will be offshore. May not come as a shocker to everyone, but we do have a high rip risk across all of our beaches for today and for Wednesday as well. Just taking a quick look at the tropics. Pretty high confidence in a development throughout the next 48 hours and even 7 days, high of 90%. Still too far out to know what's going to happen with this system out here. And then they've also highlighted another tropical wave the NHC has coming off of Africa right now, but that one has less chance of forming within the next 7 days.